This is the amplifier that I use, Fender Hot Rod Deluxe. I do mostly playing in either a church setting or a very small venue setting. It does have a drive side, but it's not great. Got a drive channel. You can activate it by using that push button there, which is a bit of a pain because it's super tiny and it's right next to your master volume control. So if you're in a rush and you accidentally hit that, you could, it's not great. So I just leave that off. These are the guitars that I use. First one is a Fender Modern Player Telecaster. It's 2014. I'm not sure. P90s and it's semi-hollow, so because of that I can get some pretty decent clean stuff out of it. And it reacts pretty good to light overdrive. And this is the first real guitar I ever bought myself. It's a Squier Stratocaster. It's the only guitar I own that has single coil, so I'm holding on to it. Next to those guys, it doesn't sound great. This one I love. This is by far my favorite guitar I've ever owned. It's a 2014 Gibson Les Paul. 10's on this bad boy. It's been through a little bit. The body's actually wearing in really nice. So say for example right here, it's just gradually starting to wear in, which I think is absolutely awesome. A lot of people kind of give me a hard time too about how I don't keep lens caps on my cameras and I leave my guitars on a stand all the time. You know what? As stuff gets dented or scratched, it gives it a story. I would rather a guitar that has a few scratches on it and I know I've played it than a guitar that's in pristine condition that I'm afraid to pick up. Levi's? I call it Levi's. It's just a Levi's leather strap with the nylon back to it. And I find those to be really good. Just reliable. Shallow strap locks, of course. I'm pretty sure everybody uses shallow strap locks now. Alright, my pedal board. So, I'm going to give you a little rundown of how everything works. This is obviously not the go-to Guitar Center, I'm a professional audio engineer type overview. This is just honestly what works for me. So from my guitar, I go into this custom comp right here. It literally just gives a little extra clarity to my sound. Because where it's going through so many pedals, I find that if I give it a little clarity from this guy, it really helps out. Go into this noise suppressor. It takes an audio in, and then sends that audio back out through, but then it also has a loop. So the loop that you plug into it is what this pedal affects the sound of. So what I've got it set up is that the audio goes in from the custom comp and then out to the volume pedal, but then the noise suppressor loops these three pedals, only affects their sound. To get rid of the hiss and the crackly sounds you can get from having a lot of gain. Because I use 3 overdrive pedals, sometimes all together, that really helps out with cutting down unwanted distortion. Sparkle Drive, I find this thing fantastic for just getting nice clean sounds that sound like they're just breaking up a little bit. So this pedal is a full drive too. Really, it's honestly, if I only could have one drive, it'd be this one. It's a fantastic pedal. The boost side of it as well is it doesn't color the sound too much, it just gives you more of it. A lot of pedals I find when you hit boost, it very much changes the sound you're getting. This one doesn't change it at all. Here, honestly, I'm not sure what comp cut is, and I'm not really sure what MOSFET is either, but I find if I've got it turned on vintage here and MOSFET here, this sounds awesome, and when I turn the boost on, the MOSFET side, it just sounds even better. Last pedal in my overdrive side is a Jekyll and Hyde. I think this is a version 1. It's before they started putting those big pancake looking switches on there. I love these because they're very nice and clicky. You know when you're pressing them. You can feel the feedback up through your foot. So this side of the Jekyll and Hyde, or Jekyll I guess, is a TS-808 clone. I've played it with a TS-808. It sounds kind of okay. It's definitely got its own flavor to that sound. On the right hand side, or Hyde, the Hyde side, just kind of sounds like a distorted Marshall. It's very, very distortion oriented. I'm not a huge fan of distortion. I like overdrive. But when you've got this thing set on blunt and even when you pair it blunt up with the sparkle drive, it sounds super cool. That's the loop that this thing suppresses the noise from. Anyways, so out of that, we go into the volume pedal. This is a Ernie Ball volume pedal junior. A lot of controversy about this because I run my tuner out of the tuner output jack. Tuner out, and then this is just signal out. A lot of people say that you're meant to put the Polytune ahead of any other pedal because it'll give you like a signal boost and it'll give you clarity. I don't like doing that, simply because if you do that, you got one more pedal that you got to turn on and off, for one. For two, every time you've got your tuner turned on, it mutes the signal. So you've got like a really sharp mute. I hate sharp mutes, that's why I use a volume pedal, because you can very much flex in like full volume, no volume, but then you've got so many gradients in between that you can pick from. So you can very much pan out or pan in. So especially in like a live setting, it gives you like a lot more versatility than just signal, no signal. I don't find any signal loss either by running the Polytune out of the volume pedal. I don't like do professional recording or anything, but I still don't find it gives me any signal loss. Out of the volume pedal goes, obviously volume pedal is pretty straightforward, I just explained it. Full volume, no volume. Then I go into a Polytune. Let me plug it in. So that's the Polytune there. So right now it's just those little dots. If it was getting a signal, see it's starting to pick up different strings as though I'm playing. So it'll pick up each string individually and show you what is in tune and what isn't. So then out of the volume pedal, my main signal goes into this TC Electronic Nova delay. It's got presets, so to go, you can hit the preset button to kind of like channel through each preset. But what I like is if you're in like a live setting and you don't want to be down here like trying to tap on a button, hit tap tempo, and then you can scroll through all the presets that you've got, which is also, I find, super useful. Pro tip, if you've got the delay kind of moving around at all, it'll automatically try to adjust. If you just do this, see how now it's not, right? And you can tap in the tempo you want, and then this little strobe LED will strobe to the tempo that you just set in. Up here, this is just a way of just dialing in, like coming back to like a longer delay repeat time or a shorter delay repeat time. Feedback is like how long the note will repeat for. So like up here it'd be like, whereas down here you literally just get one. You see that? Tape, analog, and digital. Mod level is how much the color dial is affecting the overall delay sound. And then mix level is how loud your delay is. This fog tempo over here, that's just a pick tray. Let's keep a bunch of these Ultex picks in here, because I love them. Last pedal, the RV5 digital reverb. It's a fantastic pedal. I bought it because it has a modulate setting. It's like the reverb, in my opinion, to get, which is super cool. Alright, time for a demo. So I always keep that pedal on. That pedal's always on. The tuner's always on. But pretty much everything else I turn on and off with what's going on. Gibson Les Paul, which I absolutely love. Give you some drive. So sparkle drive. Turn the clean off. Now you can also dial in a lot more clean, so this is a lot more of my guitar sound going through and a lot less of the distorted, the overdriven sound. Usually keep the clean just a little behind halfway. This one's my favorite. You could throw in some extra drive. pair up this with the Sparkle Drive together, this is without boost on. And if you throw the boost in, hide on its own, it sounds really muddy. What's really fun is if you stack the full drive, the Sparkle Drive, and the hide together. I like the jackal because you can, if you put the jackal and the full drive 2 together, you can get a lot of that like crunchier, like for example. And then the reverb, I just have it set up to give you like a nice delays. Here it washes out a lot. It's really good for that and that's pretty much it. It's a fairly versatile board because like I don't mind adjusting different dials and stuff while I'm playing too. I know a lot of people like to kind of set it and forget it. What I like to try to do is whatever suits what I'm doing. If I gotta crank my overdrive up to try to match up with what's going on, awesome. If I just need to dial everything back because I'm being way too heavy for everything else, I don't mind doing that either. And that's all there is to it. Love for you to comment below, let me know what you think. Have your own videos of your own board, I'd love to see them. If you have any questions, by all means, post below. Have fun, peace.